Hello, this is Pastor Scott Conway at QXChurch, QXChurch.org with a bite-sized bit bonus today. Now, this is an addendum to lesson number 7. We finished off with it. Now, for those listening to the audio in particular and thinking, wait, I heard most of this before, the video cut off during the lesson, so it lets me go into it in a little bit more depth as an extra little bonus lesson. The bite-sized bits and creating a new daily habit. What is a bite-sized bit will vary from person to person. So, for instance, if someone's been doing this sort of thing for a long time, for them a bite-sized bit might be a 30-day commitment. For some people, a bite-sized bit might be to increase their income by $50,000 this year. For most of us, a bite-sized bit is going to be something considerably smaller. So when you're dealing with bite-sized bits, what a bite-sized bit is may vary from person to person. Now, for this little lesson on an idea of 10 consecutive bite-sized bit goals and how, as you get better at it, you get stronger, you can reach further, your bite-sized bit changes, is also illustrated in this. So if you're trying to create a brand new daily habit, say the daily habit you're trying to create is the QXChurch minimum standard, 10 seconds with God, which could be 3 to 10 seconds. Just say, thank you, God, for something, just 3 words in the prayer, and recite or read 1 verse. And that's all you're trying to do. But you keep forgetting. This is new for you. This is different for you. This is kind of torquing something around. It's actually a stretch for you. Your first bite-sized bit, goal number 1 might just be 1 day. Goal number 2 is to reach day 3. Goal number 3 is to reach day 7. Goal number 4 is to reach the 2-week mark. Goal number 5 is the 1-month mark. And building into this a little bit more. Your first goal might be to do it on the first day. You know, it might be talking about the QXChurch spiritual minimum standard of just spend some time with God. Just even a few seconds, just check in with God. Or you might be talking about the GQ Dojo, the martial arts that I teach, and doing the 60 seconds a day, which might not even be a whole 60 seconds. Sometimes it can be 20, 30, 45 seconds. In fact, you could do both of these in a minute in a day. And that might be the new thing you're trying to do. But it's a stretch for you. It's something you have to remember to install. It's this new thing you have to do, and it hasn't been part of your habit. So that first goal is to do it today. And then celebrate the fact you did it today. I've gotten started, and feel good about that. Bizarrely enough, although it's very, very common, people will very often punish themselves for a bite-sized bit. They'll start on their first day. They'll do it the first day and say, that was so easy. This is ridiculous. What kind of idiot am I that I haven't done this before? Well, now you're punishing yourself for getting started. Celebrate for getting started. You did a good thing. You got started. You did the first day. Might have only taken you 60 seconds. You recited your verse. You said, thank you, God. You practiced your one little martial art thing. You might have finished the whole thing in 30 seconds. Celebrate that. You got started. That's a good thing. So your first goal might be just 1 day. Just get started. Do the first day. Get things going. Goal number 2 is 3 days. Just 2 more days to hit that 3-day mark. Whenever you've done something 3 or 4 times, your brain begins to interpret it as, oh, this could be the new normal. This could be a habit. This could be a thing. So celebrate day 3 or day 4. And as you celebrate day 3, enjoy yourself, understand that you've begun on a path. Day 1 is, hey, you started. That's good. You've begun. At day 3, now you're going, you've gotten 3 days in a row. This could be a new habit. This could become your new normal. Celebrate that. Third goal, a week. Celebrate. Celebrate. You made it 4 more times. Now, on your celebration, it might be as simple a celebration as coming to me and say, Pastor, I did a week. I did 7 days in a row. I actually did it. I didn't miss a day. It was great. I actually did it. I'll be excited for you. And that could be your celebration. You don't have to have a big celebration every single time. Your 4th goal could be hit the 2-week mark. And again, your celebration might be just as simple a thing as saying, hey, I've done 2 weeks. That's 14 days in a row. I hit the 2-week mark. Your 5th goal would be a month. So 2 more weeks. Now you notice your bite-sized bit is getting bigger. Your first bite-sized bit is just 1 day. Your second bite-sized bit is 2 more days. It's twice the size as your last bite-sized bit. Your next bite-sized bit is to hit the 1 week mark. That's 4 more days. Now your bite-sized bit is as big as both of your bite-sized bits were before, plus a little bit more. Your next bite-sized bit is a week. Well, you just did a week. Now your bite-sized bit is a week. Now your bite-sized bit is 2 weeks, which is what you had done total. Your whole first 4 goals was to hit the 1 day mark, the 3 day mark, the 7 day mark, the 2 week mark, and then your 5th goal is to hit the 1 month mark. So I think it just right around a little more than 2 more weeks. Now your bite-sized bit on goal number 5 is equal to the size of goals 1, 2, 3, and 4 combined. Now by the 1 month mark, most people say in 21 days, you do something 21 days in a row, and you begin to install the new habit. Instead of just, this is a thing I'm doing today, it begins to feel like this is a new habit I'm developing. I'm developing something new in me. It starts to become routine. Now, it may not quite be a full-on habit that you don't have to think about anymore. Maybe you do have to think about it. It may still require your attention, your focus. It may still require the boosts. You still may have to have reminders posted. You may still have to have it on your to-do list. But it's becoming part of your regular routine by the 21-day mark. You're beginning to install it as a brand new habit. Goal number 6 might be 2 months. Now you're going a whole nother month. Goal number 7 is hit the 3-month mark. Now you've been doing it for a full quarter. And you've done it another month. Goal number 8 might be 6 months. Goal number 8, you're going 3 months in one stretch. Now your bite-sized bit is a whole quarter. Now by the time you've been doing anything for 6 months, it should be an easy habit to follow. In 6 months, now your brain, your body has begun to chunk this as just one thing. And it becomes your new normal. Now here's an important thing to remember. Whether you're talking about that 21-day mark where you're beginning to make it routine, it's being installed as a habit. It's now become routine enough you could almost count it as a habit, but you may have to keep supporting it. At the 6-month mark, now it's normal, but it's your new normal. And if you understand, it's still new. It might be normal, but it's still a new normal. It's not necessarily part of your identity yet. That means you may still need to support it. You may still need to make sure you do it. You may still need to install that follow-through and keep following up on it. You could still uninstall it. And it's possible you could uninstall it just by inadvertence, by just letting something else interfere with it. So you have to be aware of that, but it's your new normal. Just remember it's still new. Your 9th goal might be make it another 6 months, get all the way to that 1 year mark, and your 10th goal might be a whole nother year to hit that 2-year mark on this new habit. Anything you manage for 2 years is now normal for you. It's no longer a new normal. It's been installed in you as part of your identity that you're no longer a person who does this. You are that. You're no longer a person who just does martial arts. You might be a martial artist. You're no longer someone who just goes to the gym and does exercise. That you're an exerciser, you're a fitness person, that's just what you do. And so as you begin to understand that how you install some of these things to create the normal, you're aiming for that 2-year mark. Anything that you've been doing for 2 years is normal for you. It becomes part of who you are. It's no longer your new normal, it's just normal. You would have to actively change it back. You'd have to let something else happen to make it switch to a different habit or to switch back to the old habit. So that 2-year mark is important. Now also something else, 2 years if someone's in close contact with you is also about the time it takes for someone else to perceive what you're doing as your normal. A lot of times it's a natural human tendency to want credit for our intentions, to want credit for what we've started at. So some of those people will get to the 21-day mark and they want everyone to give them credit for, hey, you've got this new habit. You've got this new normal. You've got this thing. It's part of who you are now. But we have to understand for everyone around us, their reference point is our entire history. We might be looking forward to what we think we can do, and they're looking backward to what they've seen us do. We might be looking forward to having six-pack abs by summer, but they're looking backwards to how many times we've said we were going to do something and we didn't follow through. So we have to remember, who are we going to get our support from? Do we have a mastermind group? Do we have people who are there to help us, to come alongside? Do we have enough help, and how much help do we need? Enough boosts installed so that we can even be confident that this time, yes, we're going to do it. We have the boosts installed, it's happening this time. And for even the people around us to recognize, hey, you're doing it differently this time. You've got it together at a different level this time. I can really see this happening if you continue to follow through. Your plan is different this time than it's been before. You have an upgraded plan. And because you have an upgraded plan, I could see how this could actually work for you. And then you might get more of their support. Then you might get more of their encouragement. Other than that, you might have to find someone who will be supportive and encouraging, build a mastermind team, have someone to work with you on daily questions. Now, if you're trying to install a number of habits, in general, if they're very simple, easy habits, like you're trying to do the QXChurch spirituality, just 10 seconds a day. All right, start with that habit this month. Run through your little tiny goal celebrations. First do it for day 1, then hit day 3, then hit day 7, then hit the 2-week mark, then hit the 1-month mark. And now, start a second goal. And the second goal might be the GQ Dojo, Martial Arts Practice Standard. So, okay, that's easy. That's 60 seconds. I can do that. And go through again while you're going to month number 2, which puts you on goal number 6. You're going from month 1 to month 2, goal number 6 on your last goal. On this one, you'll be running your chain of your first 5 goals. You'll be doing day 1, day 3, day 7, the 2-week mark, and the 1-month mark. And then you can add a third habit and make this third thing. Now, can you do 3, 4, 5, 10 things at once if they're short, quick little things? You can. Most people find it easier to do one, get one kind of rolling, and then do another. And then get another one kind of rolling, and then do another. At the end of a year, you could have 12 habits, half a dozen of which will be at your new normal phase as you're building them into your identity. And the other half that are at some level of approaching from past the habit phase to getting to be your new normal. And just allow that to come together one habit at a time. Now imagine if you make it a habit to install new habits, simple new things. Well, that's a dozen new good little habits a year. Now as you're putting together your plans, as you're prioritizing your plans, you can put the quick, short little things always as your number one thing. Now that could be your number one thing. You might even have 2 of them and have number 1 and number 2. And your big goal, the big thing that requires a magnificent investment of who you are, your time, your energy, your resources, might be number 3. And then you can enjoy the success of 1 and the success of 2 while you continue to work on 3, which could be a long-term goal. It could be a 4-year goal, a 2-year goal, whatever it is. So that way you have successes building up and you just keep cycling around your number 1 and number 2 on quick, short little things that you can do every day. Now you might be doing things like we said, the QXChurch standard. 10 seconds a day with God and let it organically expand by itself. Some days it might go half an hour or an hour. Might stay at 10 seconds, might hit a minute from time to time. Do your practice time, 60 seconds a day. Sometimes you might do 10 whole minutes, 15 whole minutes. Sometimes it just might be 20 or 30 seconds, your basic one thing, and that's fine too. You can also start installing some other habits. Habits for your relationship. You're saying, hey, you know, this kind of looking for the short and your minute or less things to do that can make a difference in my life, a difference in my relationships. Maybe decide to install a habit of, I'm going to make sure I make a daily routine of telling my spouse that I really, really love them. Maybe I'm going to make a daily habit of really giving my partner a good hug or a nice kiss. How long does that take? And how much of a difference can that make? So imagine the average wife whose husband only approaches her with a kiss when he wants something. So she knows this kiss isn't, I love you with this kiss. That the kiss means, I want something. What does that do to her in her perception of a kiss? What if he decides, okay, I'm going to make a commitment. Every day I'm going to devote 3 to 10 seconds to giving you a nice kiss that just says, I love you. And I say I love you with a kiss. And that's all it is. I'm not asking for anything. I don't want anything beyond the kiss. I just want to express my love for you with a kiss. And then you celebrate. Hey, I did it today. That's a good husband. I got started on some new way to love my wife, to cherish her, to treasure her. And then celebrate day 3, celebrate day 7, celebrate week 2, celebrate month 1, and then be on to adding your next thing. Maybe you do something with one of your kids. Maybe you do something with one of your friends. Just simple little habits that you try to get yourself into that could take seconds, could take a minute, could take maybe 10 minutes. You could get to the end of a year and have built in a dozen great new habits that will enhance your quality of life, enhance your key relationships, help you move forward on key and important things in your life, and still be taking less than an hour a day. Maybe even mean taking less than 15 minutes a day, because you've been finding all these kind of critical habits that you can create that literally take seconds, less than a minute, and yet it can make a difference in your life. So your bite-sized bits. Just because something's a bite-sized bit in its time doesn't mean it's not important. What a bite-sized bit is will change based upon how close it is to what you already do. And another key lesson, a key takeaway I want you to have in a bite-sized bit is these tiny little activity goals can make a big difference in your life. Just a little bite-sized bit of 10 seconds a day, 60 seconds a day can make a huge difference. And you double up on the bite sizes of it by setting your goals just a little bit at a time. Set a 1-day goal, just do it once. That's your first goal, just do it once. Second goal, good, now let's make that 3 days in a row. Third goal, great, let's make that 7 days in a row. And you keep stacking it up until it becomes a developing habit, becomes routine for you, eventually becomes your new normal, and finally just becomes part of who you are. This is Pastor Scott Conner at QXChurch. This has been a bonus lesson of bite-sized bits. Thank you.